Hello, Quadabble here on my main account, and today I wanted to go over a champion highlight of Drexthar Bloodtwin. Now he's the champion you can get from from Tag Team Arena. He's one of the awards. So, and what I mean by that is, if you go over here to your arena, Tag Team Arena, you go to the Bazaar, you can buy fragments of him until you get all 100. 360 a day. It takes a long time to get them, but I was actually lucky enough to get him as a pull early in my game, and he's one of the guys that really helped me to defeat let's see, Spider 20. Yeah. So first thing I'll do is look at the champion himself, and you can see he's got a lot of good reviews. Overall, he's been used at a lot of locations. Faction Wars 4.9, Spider Sin 4.7, Clan Boss. All these are great locations for him, so I'm not going to say it's not. But I solely used him as my any of the spirit levels of Spider. And I'll get into that in a second. And I want to show you the build. His attacks are based on defense. So if you go over here, you can see the attack is based on defense. And then he has a chance to place HP burn. He has a 30% chance of placing an HP burn on every hit. And he has 3 hits. That's what makes him really good in the. That's what makes him really good in the. Let's see. That's what makes him really good in like anything that you can put HP burn on. So that'd be Clan Boss. Obviously, Spider is important also. Uh, and then he heals himself by 20% of the damage inflicted if they're under an HP burn. So he can heal himself. He has a 40% chance of placing a provoke. If it's under an HP burn, it goes to 100% chance. So, but you can book him till he's at 60%. But as you can see right now, I didn't put any books into him. So this was an inexpensive champion that I used as far as books, because books are, you can't book every legendary champion. I don't. This account is not free to play, but I try to play it as cheaply as I can. If you've watched some of the other videos, you can tell I don't spend a lot of money on this. Occasionally, I do spend money, but it's to get things. Obviously, if you spend money, you get things. But this is the one that really matters right here. He has a 55% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns on the attacker when he's hit. So if he gets hit, he has a 55%, which you can book it to 75. And this is probably the one that I would focus on if I was going to put books into him. But you can see that over here, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books. And that's kind of expensive. But if your first 3 books went right here, you could stop right there and be very, very happy. Now, this champion's resist increases by 10 for every enemy under HP burn, and it stacks up to 50. And this champion's resist is kind of low. I really didn't raise it too high, and his accuracy is not that high. As far as his masteries, I just made him a defensive, you're going to hit me in the face champion. I don't really intend on this champion ever doing damage. You can do that if you want, but the masteries that I chose were accuracy, more accuracy, and even some more accuracy. Plus, I went to right here, and I gave him the benefit of increasing the base stats by 15% for any artifacts that increase base stats. And then over here, I put on increasing the turn meter. Now, this one wasn't necessary. I could take it off. It wouldn't matter. I could put it someplace else. Over here, I put on resist. Decreases damage if he's hit with a critical hit. Increases the amount of the healing and the value of shield buffs this champion receives. 50% to remove 1 random debuff from this champion when they lose 25%. This was an early game champion for me. I had him way early in the game, so I didn't quite build this correctly. But you can see there's really nothing. Now, I like this one, especially when you're going against bosses. Spider is boss, so he can have the damage reduced up to 6% per enemy. The provoke ability is very powerful in arena, but I didn't really. You have to book him if you're going to use him in arena, in my opinion. And I could put some books in him. I could move this stuff around and do better. But basically, it was accuracy and resist. So he's just supposed to sit there and take it. Now, as far as his armor goes, I just put him in armor that gave him defense really high. So his defense is 5,500 points. And you can see I did that with some really chintzy armors. It was just bare bones. I mean, one rare piece of equipment, two rares, and an epic down here. So you can see this is an early game for me. I didn't have as much armor on. If I wanted to make this character better, what I could do is go back and I could pick, if nothing else, I could just go down and pick resilience armor. And I could do a heck of a lot better. But I picked defense 60%, HP 50%, and defense 60%. I don't need crit rate. I don't need crit damage. Basically, the way I used him was he's a spirit. He's red, so he's force champion. And if you come over here to dungeons and you get into Spider's Den, he is basically going to take all the hits from the spiderlings on any spirit level. So level stage 4, stage 8, stage 12, stage 16, and stage 20. And then he even goes up here as stage 24. I haven't worked through, I haven't wanted to take the time yet. It's not necessary for any advancement for me. The further you go down, the more challenging it gets. But at the same time, nothing's telling me I must do it. I know it's going to be part of the extended missions to get that newer character, but I got a lot of stuff to work on, so I wasn't worried about it. Now, this is an older team, and you can see that you saw over here that my best time on this was 124, and I've created a newer team for it, but I wanted to show you the basic team that I used back in the day. Royal Guard I had forever, and I just started adding this champion in the last 3 to 6 months. I didn't realize how good that champion was. A Cold Heart would be great here. Even Armiger would be great here because their damage is always based on enemy max HP, and so is Royal Guard. So, but this was basically the team. Here's the 180 reward, 180-day game reward that you got. So she's my reviver. She heals, and she has a chance to stun. She also has a chance to put on decreased speed, and that's one of the between decreased speed and decreased turn meter. Those are some of the skills that you can use to beat Spider. And as you notice here, I went affinity with my hitters as magic, which magic beats spirit, but spirit always beats force, and that's where Drexthar Bloodtwin. Jeez Louise, I can't speak today. So I'll get right into a battle, and I'll show you how it works. You can use many different champions, but basically this is going to be an affinity base structure. So you see, it goes out there. I have Drexthar Bloodtwin going last in this group, and the reason that is because I want any buff that I put on him to last longer. Man-Eater is great here because it would put an unkillable. I'll go ahead and speed this up, but you saw that he went last, and now anybody that hits Drexthar Bloodtwin has a 55% chance of getting that HP burn. But the first round usually doesn't matter, but everybody survived, as you can see. So she heals everybody. She goes in. She decreases max HP. I think she's the one that put the decreased speed on. Royal Guard is going to put the decreased defense on. Drexthar is going to go in there and hit. And all I'm trying to get him to do is put on the HP burn, because the HP burn is basically one of the most powerful things to kill Spider, other than Royal Guard doing like almost 1,000,000 points of damage if you do your group together. I think I've got 1,000,005 out of her before, which is just crazy. There's 1,000,000 points of damage. So obviously, if you do have a Royal Guard for Spider level 20 or for any of the Magic or Spirit affinities, you're going to do a ton of damage. Against red, it doesn't do as much damage. It's more like 500,000 points of damage, but it's still a good combination to use on that affinity. I mean, 500,000 points of damage is phenomenal. And you can see that the Spiderlings are actually what's going to kill the big spider. Sargoth, I think her name is. I never can remember her name. Scavags. Scavags. The big spider. There's other things you can put on Drexthar Bloodtwin. You could do his Masteries a little bit higher and get that 60% just by adding that. That way you still don't have to add books to him and have a 60% chance. It's the one that allows you to place debuff, an extra 5% to place debuffs, except for like freeze, fear, and all those stun. Now, this definitely takes more time. There's nothing. Yeah, this isn't going to be a world record time frame, and you could probably beat it faster. But this is just how I use Drexthar Bloodtwin. Now remember, all the poison coming from the Spiderlings is going to Drexthar. And even if he dies, I do have a Reviver on the team, and he's the only one that dies because everybody attacks him. That's the reason for this. He'd be great in Fire Knight. You just have to build him correctly. Now that stunned all them through Maneater, put on a humongous shield. So having a single Reviver, having Maneater, and having Drexthar Bloodtwin is just awesome. The other 3 champions, you just have to work them in good. Decreased defenser, a weakener, a decreased attacker. Those would all be great skills to have as your support champions. I just put Kale in here. He has a little bit of poison. He has a couple good AoEs, or at least one good AoE. You could put somebody else in, but I just wanted to show you what it looked like with the starter champion. Now, Drexthar Bloodtwin will probably die here, but at the same time, is not quite that important. But remember, I have him going slowest, so that shield will last the longest on him. And there you go. So it was a 4 minute 22 seconds. I got accuracy. Actually needed that. That's pretty good with speed. Accuracy with speed. Score. Great banner. That'll be good for Ninja. That'd be good for Ninja. But as you can see, I didn't put any books into him. He's only like a quarter mastered because it takes a lot to get those red scrolls. And I could put some more time into him, but I literally stopped right here. And this would be the cheapest way to use him. But like I said, he's got a 3-hit ability on his A1. Anybody with a 3-hit ability on their A1 is great for Fire Knight. So he'd be great in Fire Knight. He's placing HP burn, and against the boss, this is probably one. It has decreased attack. The decreased attack only is if the provoke is placed. So this is one that you would use in your team build. You'd actually not use this, but because he doesn't ever have an ability on cooldown, that means that he'd be getting an extra 20% or 20 points of accuracy if you never used your Burning Lash. So it is a benefit to turn that off and never have him try to put a provoke on the champion. I mean, it's going to hit all enemies one time. You can't place the provoke. You just can't place it. So this one would be one that I would avoid, and you just go back. He just attacks, puts on the HP burn potentially, 30% chance, which is no big deal. But every time the clan boss hits, there's a 55, and if you use the Masteries correct, it could be 60%. and then he'll get an extra 10 points of resist, which again, that's important. Another good thing about him is he's got an accuracy in all battles by 70% or 70 points. So that's a good skill to have. You can make him your team leader. For a long time he was my team leader in Spider, and that way that there would be less resisting against the fiery blood passive. So as how that goes. So I just wanted to show you how I used him. And you don't have to necessarily book this champion. He's nothing else. He takes all the hits from the Spiderlings on all of the spirit locations. And again, I could go through and I could put some more money and time into this champion. This could be accuracy. This one could be accuracy. I could make his accuracy go higher, but the 161, 171, he gets a plus 10 for the first mastery right here. He gets a plus 10 on his accuracy for this one. He gets a plus 20% accuracy of no skills on cooldown. And then right here, he gets plus 4 accuracy for each enemy alive. He's going to get this 16 because you're fighting the Spiderlings. So 4 alive Spiderlings or 3 alive Spiderlings with the big spider, and you're going to get a plus 16. So right off the bat, he's got 10, 20, 30, 46 points extra of accuracy. So then when you go over here and you look at his stats, you can see that his accuracy is 171, but you can also add another 36 to that. So he's got 200 accuracy, which is way more than enough on stage 20 to make sure that they're all landing. So, all right, well, I hope this was helpful. And Drexthar Bloodtwin, I don't know why I can't say his name right, but I didn't put any books into him, and I try to run things as cheap as I can. I like having things. Here, I'll show you why. So here on your upgrade skills, I've got 29 books. I don't even think I have half of my champions booked. I just don't like spending them unless I know it's going to make a big difference in a certain high level. Like, if I'm going for level 25 on Spider, which I'll need to in the future, or, a lot of my champions are booked. And some of them aren't. So you can see she's not completely booked. I've got 2 left there, and I've got these done. So I still haven't booked her completely. It's just the way I am. I don't want to spend these books unless I have to. And I can completely book 2 champions right now. You figure if the average champion has 12, I could do 2 champions and still have some left over. So, and I'm always looking for. I say I'm always looking for, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Lizardman. I'm always looking for Dracomorph. He's the guy that's going to possibly help me get to a 2 key and take the place of my good buddy Rosin in my budget unkillable team. So I'm trying to save those books for places I know they're going to use. But if you've taken the time and you've gotten this champion, you've actually gotten a very great champion, Drexthar Bloodtwin. Fabulous champion, high defense, does damage based on defense. So making his defense go to 5,000 points was a good thing in retrospect because that helps him do more damage. So, all right, well, thank you for watching today. Hope this video helps you possibly use Drexthar Bloodtwin to your advantage. Have a good one.